That throw not exactly perfect. You'd want that one out in space so the receiver can run onto it. It popped up a little bit in the air, so Rogers had a bit of work to do. She did it well. So a fascinating game so far. Fascinating, 4-all. Tight game. So, Spratt to pull. It's in the air, it floats nicely. And Sandstrom to pick it up. A nice break by Sandstrom. It's through the hands, though, of Emily Chan. There's Spratt with flow through Sharkey. Can't get it to Downey, who's been good early. Out to French, who's also been good. And there's Emily Chan getting involved, getting herself a block, and she's off to the races. Sharma, not quite on the disc, so wasn't able to send it to her. Sandstrom out into space. Chan, who continued her cut. Zhong looking for Sandstrom. Sandstrom, nice catch. And then a big backhand. It's got a high angle on it. It's going to go left. Sandstrom. You see when she gets in space, she's willing and able to drop some bombs on the end zone. I'm just not quite having the angle. So French to Downey. And then it's Spratt. She'll have to do a lot there. It's too far out in front. Factory Frenzy now with another opportunity. Sandstrom has a long, good look down the field. Good flick. Oh, what a nice grab by Asha Sharma. Sharma is going to flub it. Just slipping out of the hands. The disc clearly wet after that layout. So French to bring it in. Engages Downey. Goes high. Downey runs onto it nicely. They're starting to put it together. Rounds. Spratt. French tries to get it up the line. It's covered well. Nice inside break. Eaton. Now it's Downey up the line. Catches the trailing edge and then throws a flick towards the end zone. This point has been hard fought. Nearly 30 minutes gone in this game. 4-all the score. As is always the case in these Division 2 matches, both teams will have opportunities. Sandstrom is going to try and reset it. Just throws it in the ground at the feet of Sharma. The defensive pressure of underground telling maybe a little bit now. And instead of French going to the disc, as been the normal way, it's Downey. Eaton gets free, finds a way in between two. Barber with a bid. Sandstrom rather. And that is the 5th goal of the match. Underground now back in front. Great way to start the morning. Tight match. Not a great deal at stake at the moment. It is early in the game. Score is, of course, 5-4 to Underground. We'll get the scoreboard corrected shortly. Here we go. The ball. Miriam Downey now. This is a long way down. We'll talk about Miriam Downey shortly and about the origins of this Underground club. They come down in the match defense. Munro. Warnock gets up the line, creating space for that around throw into space. Frenzy now are off to the races. A deep receiver's there. She'll have to do a lot. She does well to stay inbounds. Does Chittenden. The 3-inch travel call. Chittenden makes up her ground and continues to play on. And a nice block there, Rayner. Now it's all hard work. Ammett under heavy pressure from Ringland. Rayner. Lloyd-Hedden. There's a big call, so Ammett will most likely return the disc. Just taking a moment to acknowledge who the pick was on. See if it didn't affect the play and Ammett's catch, then it would stay with her. However, it was Ringland who called the pick. Well, that's a tight window to go into, but Miriam Downey catches well. Now Underground have to do something. Another tight window. It's outside in. It's hung out in there like it's in the breeze. It's come back in. Centimetre perfect by Miriam Downey. It hung out there for an age. Like a sailing boat on full lean. Before it tailed back in at the last moment. See, there's not much angle. Yeah, there's a little bit of separation, but they're not really working with much room, and that is, well, maybe she had another half a metre that she could have run into, but not much more. So we'll see the first timeout of the game. Both teams are going to bring it in, talk it over. The Factory Frenzy leadership currently huddled up. Just discussing a few things, trying to figure out what adjustments they're going to make here. Underground, more of a clump or a huddle. So we'll talk a little bit about the origins of this Underground team. So we need to restart again. I think we're losing some frames on the replay machine. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, very, very shortly. Okay, we're back out of the timeout. Underground up 6-4 in this match, this Division 2 women's match. As we began to say earlier, there's not too much on the line today for either team, this being the New South Wales Championships. These Division 2 teams they're not competing for any kind of title. They're more here to get that experience, get that growth, get that development. Both these teams very heavily focused on both of those. The origin of Underground coming from the desire to develop more women's players in Canberra. Underground being in their second year. And Spratt to pull. And it's Sandstrom to pick it up. And now Flynn with that great. Oh, what a massive block by Eaton. She climbed into the Raymond Terrace sky and swatted that. That's one for the highlight reel right there. It looked good out of the hand from Flynn. Saw a really nice backhand from Finn earlier, and I think Eaton maybe was paying attention, has realised what she was bringing and played some excellent defence. Spratt can't get it to Ruby Rounds. Well, the defence is so tight. Flat throw. Bailey to Spratt. Spratt looking covered well. Layout block Fry Flynn. And Flynn's going to go straight away across the field. Schubert under heavy pressure. Spratt can't get there. Well, that had everything. First a flying D from Eaton and a flying D from Flynn. Outstanding. Factory Frenzy now close the gap by 1. Come back to the Eaton block. Well timed. Throw by Corinna Schubert. That's close. So it looks like for England now to pull. Get it to roughly in line with the brick mark. To Miriam Downey. To Rogers. Rayner. Oh, the disc takes a heavy deflection on the point block. Rogers catches it anyway. Rogers trying to get it to... That's Loiterden. Back to Rogers. Keeps it in well. And the cut to Ferguson. Ferguson. Fakes the backhand. Rayner just outside. There's a lot there. Rogers is going to be the one who scores. Plays it on the ground and moves on. 7-5 now the score. Factory Frenzy unable to close the gap. Time cap rules much the same as they were last day. Heavy pressure there. Great concentration by Ferguson to catch it. You know, the defender, Katrin, was like on her hip. There's a lot of great names in Australian Ultimate, but I think we've got one for the books. Ruby Rounds. That was an excellent Ultimate Frisbee name. Playing for Underground. One of their new talents, their up-and-coming stars, perhaps. So, Downey. Downey's going to be the one to pull. She has the disc in hand at the moment. Some instructions. For the line, just figuring out who's going where. Rather, that's French now. French with a disc, and it's Downey standing immediately to her right. Our left, where we're looking at it from. So French with an outside in backhand. So Flynn. Nice cut to Schubert. Flynn. Flynn in space. Had the opportunity to throw the backhand. Decides to look for a better option. He's going to break the mark. Flynn expecting the receiver to go one way. She goes the complete opposite, and French goes quick. Flynn is going to go out there and poach off and try and throw the goal for the second time. She gets it that time. A little bit of frustration there by Carrie Flynn. A little bit of a Thanos moment. Fine, I'll do it myself. See Flynn out of frame at the moment, poaching off from the back of the stack to go get that block. So, Frenzy will go on defense now. This could potentially be half-time if Underground score this next point. Been fairly clean the last couple of points. Fewer turnovers. A couple of those points in there were absolute grinders. Legs burning. Lungs feel like they're about to burst, and you turn it over again. You gotta go play defense. You gotta get the turn, and then you gotta play offense. And then it's turned over, and then you gotta play defense. It can be a real test of mental fortitude. Ringland. The slide, just inside the brick mark. The imaginary line that defines the red zone, as we call it. Yeah, here's Zaka. It's Loiterton who has to go low on her knees, tries to catch, can't get it. Munro. So Ringland out in front of her. So it was a momentary match call. It was a zone call. Now it's a hark to Rogers. It's so good by Ferguson. It's so very, very good. That's going to be half-time. Underground are up by 2 now. 8-6 the score. Ferguson with an outstanding flick. And forehand throw, that's a long way. That's some 35 metres to where the disc was caught. See, she picks it up. Rogers immediately knowing the kind of clubs Emma Ferguson has in her kit bag, says, I'll run, you huck it. Well, we're going to go to some replays. We're going to have a look at some of the action for the first half. We'll be back with the conclusion of this game here shortly. We look forward to seeing you there soon.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Well, welcome back to the second half of this Division 2 women's match. Underground of Canberra playing against Factory Frenzy, Factory Ultimate Club, also out of Canberra. Before we get started with the second half, we probably need to talk about the weather, which has become ominous in literally the last 5 minutes. Over the course of halftime, it's gone from nearly overcast to grey clouds over Grahamstown Dam. So we might get a little bit moist down here. The fields here in Raymond Terrace. Raymond Terrace is roughly 1 hour north of Newcastle, nice part of the country. If you ever come on a holiday, wondering where should you go? Come Come to this part of the country. Come to Newcastle. Come to Nelson Bay. We think we've got a pretty good year. So this is why breaks are important. So Factory Frenzy will be pulling here, going on defense out of half. Ringland with the disc at the moment. Underground are going to have the first opportunity to play offense. The higher the level becomes, the greater that advantage to have first possession of the disc, as the offense is assumed to score in the higher divisions. Division 2 though can be a little bit different. Oh, a floaty high throw that's dealt with, and Factory are going to go to this zone. Spratt through French, back to Spratt. Spratt with a high release. Ringland gets a piece of it, and then it's snatched out of the air by Dana Warnock. Ringland with a huge flick. It's a long way. It's way too far. Actually, that might be a little bit unfair. It wasn't that far away. There was not a too much between it, and yeah, Factory, we saw this zone for a brief moment last half and it worked. It did get a turn. Spratt trying to create some space now, some width, and Factory zone gets themselves a turn. Inside break by Munro to Ringland. Tansen drops the goal. Ebony Tansen, who scored earlier, doesn't catch that one. And another drop. This Factory Frenzy zone may be what they need to get back into this game. Warnock. The interesting high release flick push pass. Come chicken wing is incomplete. Underground now, they need to come up with a plan. The high release over the top. Munro can't get there, and Ribby rounds at her shoelaces. So Frenzy are going to transition. Spratt is going to reach down the field with a forehand. Bailey, outside in. There's Eaton. Eaton with a big outside in. It's a goal. Well, Eaton is growing into this game at the moment. Score is 9-6. Eaton just spotting that receiver and going, okay, I'm good enough. I can throw that. And throw that she does. What a great catch there by Vanderkrant. A little bit of work to do. I think we'll probably talk a little bit about the origins of this underground club, talking to some of the underground players before the match started, finding out a little bit about where this club came from. It started a couple of years ago by Miriam Downey, who's actually just clearing the line now. Wanted a place with good vibes where women could come and develop. She felt that there was nothing that offered exactly what she was looking for in Canberra, so she started the Underground Ultimate Club. Flynn. So Underground now are also going to go with some of their own zone. Sharma. Cross to Sandstrom, who uncorks a big one. He's going to put it in the air. The taller Loiterton does enough. On the second grab. that's Katrin, who is trying to catch the goal from Frenzy. With correction, Yun Zhong. Ferguson to Loiterden. The reset. Izzy Howard goes down the line. Ammett throws a speculator towards Rayner, who has the layout past Heather Cross, who had played pretty good defense on it. Turnover results. Sharma picks it up. Finds Sandstrom to Flynn. Flynn steps up in through the cup. A nice move by Flynn through Sharma. Zhong, a drop. Several deep cuts and undercut. Trying to clean it up, trying to figure out what's happening. Flip over to Rogers isn't successful. Flynn has 3 receivers, can't get it to him, can't get it past the wall of this underground defensive structure, this zone that they're bringing. Nice pressure there. Zaka doing enough to force the throw from Flynn to be low. Never comes back up. Skims along the ground, and that's a turnover. Ferguson looking for Rogers. She breaks instead to Ammett. Ammett with a flick to Rayner. Loiterton will have to do a lot. It's a wayward, wild one. So Flynn gets it in play, gets it to Sandstrom. Sharma. Sandstrom. Sharma. This underground zone doing a pretty good job of containment. The block by Ammett. Flynn tries to get in there to save it. She can't do it. Underground now, deep in the red zone, an opportunity potentially for their 10th. Ferguson going to go with a floopy outside in. Discussion on the field, just figuring something out. Flynn, Zaka playing a long way around. Flynn has to loop it all the way over to Sharma, who goes shorter to Okada. And then Sharma with a wayward one. Sandstrom hanging in the opposite direction to what Sharma thought. Ferguson now with another opportunity. Rayner's open. What a receiver Rayner is. Strong cutter. Great separation through acceleration and hard work. Back to the origins of this underground club. The origins of the name actually have a funny story. Called underground because it was a secret. And if you knew, you knew. And if you were in the know, you knew. And if you weren't in the know, you didn't need to know. And you were brought into the know by someone who knew. I got the impression of very Fight Club-esque. Got invited by text message. Very secretive. And then naturally the metro symbol from England forms the basis of their uniforms. An underground train. So This game is coming to a close. Factory Frenzy have really just been held at bay, held at arm's length by this underground team, this talented underground team. Trin over towards Munro. Ringland. They're trying to get it around the edge of the zone. Munro has to do a lot. The zone, you can see it working. The zone is trying to create a situation where teams have to throw a lot of passes. That's a block. Sarah Gillett catching that one, and then Trin is going to go to Gillett. Gillett, who continued her cut, she's going to have to do a lot. She bids. Can't get there. Well, you can't doubt the effort. See through everything, the kitchen sink, the small cat, the shoes, everything was thrown at that one. And still, not quite enough. Mother of three, I'm reliably told. One of the children, she threw it all. Spratt will just hold on to the disc for a moment. Looked like a pick for Munro. Spratt has had a good game. There's been a number of good performers on this underground team. And Spratt is going to go towards Eaton, who's a bit of a monster in the air. Stall is going to get high though. Spratt gets up the line. A nice reset. Sprout, she's wearing on the kit, reaches out there with a hand. Ringland, it hits someone in the face. It looks like it's clobbered Sharky on the way through. Just an awkward one. It was bobbling around in there. Gillett. Trin. Back to the middle. And Ringland. Munro. Munro with a big throw. She's going to have to do a lot as well. Johnston not able to get there. Well, if Factory lose this game, it wasn't for a lack of trying. Throw outside in. The wind is increasing. So it's Warnock. Munro. Munro piercing through to Gillett. Ringland. Ringland's throw is going to pop up. It's read well by Bailey. Through French to Spratt. Spratt with that distinctive forehand that is released from quite a ways up in the air. Eaton with the outside in towards Ruby Rounds. Rounds all alone, has a moment. It's just going to chill and finds Spratt. Some good play there by Rounds, realizing she had nothing in front of her. Downey back to Spratt. Spratt with that high release flick again. The defense comes. Johnston getting in there off that wing position in the zone. Munro. Munro towards Gillett. Awkward height to catch. Oh, the inside break by French, but it's D'd by Trin. Cat Trin knew what was going on. Gets to the throwing lane. Gets the block. Munro out to Warnock. Gillett. Ringland. Ringland with an outside in backhand. Going to test Ruby Round. She gets underneath it. Can't get there. Factory on the doorstep. Oh, a wayward throw that's going to pop up in the wind. It's Ringland though. She skewers it. Looks for support. Finds Warnock. Out to Trin. Ringland's in the end zone. Spratt can't get there. That's Factory's 7th goal. at the moment. Factory Frenzy are behind, but they're going down swinging. And at the moment, I am happy with my decision to wear long pants today. It is actually a little bit colder than it was yesterday. It's quite muggy and balmy yesterday on the Saturday. Today a little bit cooler, especially considering that big dark cloud that is currently hovering over the Grahamstown Dam, over that berm in the distance behind the field that you can see there. A forecast of 25. There's exceptionally high chance of rain for the rest of the day, peaking at 90% at 10 o'clock, which is approximately 20 minutes from now, local time. So I anticipate that very shortly we're going to see some moisture. Unlike cricket, we have no Les Burdette, no long rope, no Hessian to dry the service. The players will just have to make do as Sandstrom pulls. So a zone for Factory Frenzy out into space. Howard will have to go. She does. Gathering that pass that was headed towards Downey, but missed her slightly. Downey to the inside to Amit. Making a little bit of progress here underground. Ferguson. Downey on the near sideline. Fakes the scuba. I love it. Ferguson in close contact. Tangling a little bit. Downey gets them out. Howard through Amit. Downey underground doing well in this zone offense. They're finding some holes. There's Zaka. Back to Downey. Downey trying to move the cup around. Big throw across to Howard. And a block. Schubert jumps in front. And then Sandstrom is going to go for Schubert. Sandstrom's given that everything. Schubert. Humongous throw by Sandstrom that has gone out the back of the end zone. No, not quite. Close to it though, and Schubert, after the block, went for a gallop. Underground will have to go the length of the field again. Zaka, nice catch up high. Amit. There's Rayner. Downey, Ferguson. Ferguson with an outside in. He's going to test Flynn as the deep. Flynn has read it really well. Really, really well. Schubert. She looks cool, calm and collected as a player to Schubert. There's Sandstrom. And Sandstrom is not going to be able to get it to Okada. Yeah, that big rain cloud's coming. It's about to pour. Ferguson. Down he goes. Nice dump cut to get the reset, creating separation. There's Rogers. Rogers. Oh, big bid by Rayner. Zaka. Zvaka's going to get called out. Humongous by Rayner. Oh, Schubert's gone again. Sandstrom's going to try it for another one this time. Schubert catches it. She's deep in the red zone. The throw to Conchado. It's no good. As the rain begins. Just going to retreat a little bit under our shelter here. Unlike the players, we can hide. Nice throw by Ferguson, piercing the zone to Zaka. And then Amit catches high over Sandstrom. Ferguson. Howard. Ferguson with a big outside in. And it's gathered by Schubert. Sandstrom looking for that throw to the near sideline, can't get it. Yeah, the rain is substantial. It's going to get heavier here shortly. Sometimes in Newcastle you can see it coming, and when you can see it coming, it just keeps increasing in intensity. This shelter is really not big enough. Sandstrom down the line. Here it comes. Well, where would you rather be? But in the driving rain in Raymond Terrace. Flynn out to Sandstrom, who drops it. The disc is going to get very, very wet very quickly, I think. And Downey looks like she's in no rush. So underground to go to work in treacherous conditions. Through Rogers to Rayner. Rayner out to Rogers. That's the score. And I think we might be done here. I think the players are going to head for shelter. What a game that was. Underground deserving victors. 11-7 the final score. Fitting that it goes through Rayner's hands on the way to victory. She had a lot of success during this game. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you shortly for the next game. If there is no broadcast, you know what happened. We drowned. We'll be back shortly.
ULTI.TV.